This is Lindsay O'Donnell Welch with Decipher. I'm here today on the show floor of the RSA Conference in San Francisco, and I've seen a lot of really interesting things this week. There's a lot of concerns about the integration of software and critical and complex systems, as well as discussion around the initiatives of the US government's ideas around secure by design. So one question that I had for a lot of different people I met up with at the conference was, what's one security challenge that you wish was being discussed more that you don't think is being talked about enough? So here's what a couple people had to say on that.
Well, along the lines of metrics, I wish people would talk about outcome-based metrics more. It's one thing to say how many bugs you catch in a bug bounty program. It's one thing to say how much money you've spent. But it's about really reducing the number and severity of vulnerabilities over time. And so if you think about it, in terms of what I wish people would talk more about is, what is the security outcome that you want to achieve? And what are the metrics you can use to actually measure whether or not you're tracking towards that outcome? And I think that, this conference has grown so much in the last 2.5 decades or so that it's been running. Have we gotten more secure as an industry just because there are so many more security vendors? The answer is no. And I think that's what's missing, is this outcome-based approach to tuning your metrics and tuning your processes.
The topic I wish was discussed more in the cybersecurity industry is definitely how to apply platform engineering concepts to cybersecurity. There are companies who are doing it, but we don't talk about it enough. And honestly, that's one of the keys to unlock what I think is the next kind of decade of modern cybersecurity.
So there's a lot of gray in this beard, and there's going to be a lot more gray. And I noticed that there are several of my friends in the community. We're all getting older. And I don't think there's a great safety net when you look at folks in cyber, that the scams that are going on, there's not really a system set up to help people as they age or as circumstances change, where your identity, all those passwords, all those vaults are maintained or passed on, or some kind of care for that long term. I think that is an unaddressed area, as well as the rise of pig butchering and scams like that, which are really, really prevalent and unaddressed and targeting folks that all of us probably know.
So I think that software supply chain security is discussed often, but I'm not sure we're asking the correct questions at the moment. If you ask 2 or 3 people what does software supply chain security means, you will get 4 or 5 answers. The definitions are very important at this stage of educating the ecosystem, understanding what it means, understanding what are things that I can control when I create software, what are the things that beyond my control, and this includes tools and processes and open source software. And we're only now starting to map all these issues and all the bad things that might happen. Attackers are already there, by the way, and I wish that we will start talking more about how to defend and what to do proactively, and not just respond to things that happen around this.
Yeah, for me, this is my go-to answer on this one, and it comes down to Apple security device. Security on Apple devices that often gets overlooked with the platform becoming more popular. It's getting a little more attention. We're starting to see more blog posts, but historically it's been ignored because the market share was lower for it. So I think it's becoming more talked about, and we're kind of fixing that. But I think in the past, it's just kind of fallen to the wayside because people assume they're inherently safe if they're using Macs or iPhones or something like that. So I think that needs to be talked about even more than it is today, especially as the platform continues to rise.
All in all, it was a great show. Great to catch up with lots of security folks. And for more content related to the RSA conference and news articles, visit Decipher at decipher.sc. Thank you.